Hey everyone, Dave from GoProspecting here. I've been getting a lot of messages on my email or my website at goprospecting.ca about how I camp in my truck here. Now I did a video on this way back when. You can check it out right here. I'll post a link. I'll take you through some of the steps I did to create it. It's actually pretty easy. You don't need a whole lot of carpentry skills to do it, and it gets you into the backwoods pretty easy. And if you have all the right supplies and materials, you can make a weekend of it, 2 or 3 days at least, and camp in the back of your truck. So as you can see here, it provides 2 levels of storage. You can put all the shovels and storage capacity underneath. On top you can put your foamies and your sleeping bags and your pillows for a sleeping area. And of course here I got the KingCamp truck awning, which is great for providing some shade if you have a camp spot that has some sun in it. So here's what the truck looks like empty. You can see it. I got the Linux truck liner, which is a great protectant. And you can see the wheel wells, and you can see these little notches here. These are key to the framework of the top layer that you're going to build. So you can see there's 3 notches here. One here, and one right there. Those are what I'm going to build my framework with, some 2x6s. A simple little notch in each will go across the bed to the little notch on the other side. So this is where you want to take your tape measure and measure precisely across from one notch to the other. So these are the 3 2x6s that I cut using a little circular saw that I have. Each one I measured, and I marked out for each, because each one will have a slightly adjusted length. So you want to make sure that you mark each one. So there you can see that's the front of the truck, the middle strut, and the end. And just looking down on the strut, you can see it's about maybe 1/2 inch and straight. It's nothing too fancy, but the important part is this support part. This is going to be what's holding the weight. This is why you want 3 support structures across to make it nice and sturdy. So at this point now you can just take them and place them across each strut. You can make little corrections as you go. So I found that you have to actually angle it up on one side to get over, and then on the other side you have to bring it up and over, because it is a tight fit, and that's what you want. You want it snug, and you can see now it's resting on there. This is the front. Okay, I got the mid piece here. They usually go in, the last 2 pieces go in pretty simple, because you don't have to reach in as far. See, that's pretty solid. You can see how it rests on that ledge there, pretty tight. And now the end piece. Again, the end piece is a little bit, you just have to jostle it in. There you go. There's your backbone. Now you're ready for the plywood flat piece. Now when making the plywood flat piece, you have to be aware. I was a little bit careful, and I was looking at the side of the wall, and you can see right above the wheel well here, it jets out a little bit. So I made a little contour sheet with a piece of paper, and you can just trace it out on the plywood. And I'll show you here in a second what that looks like. It's on both sides, so it's basically the same thing. And this just provides a nice tight fit. So these are my 2 plywood pieces. You can see they're cut already. The notches at the top are something that I did extra, which I'll explain later. And you can see the notches on either side, which will fit the sides of each truck accordingly. I decided to do 2 pieces because it's much easier to handle, lightweight for storage. When I'm not using it, I can pull it in and out, and one person can handle it a lot easier. So I'll show you how these fit in the back of the truck. It's quite simple actually. You just angle it up on top of the backbone 2x6 structures. And then push it off to the side. That's one. Same exact process for the other side. Only takes a few seconds to put in. And make sure you put it nice flush up against the side. Now, as you can see, both pieces of plywood are lying flat on top. They're fairly sturdy, but you can see I have this gap in the middle. This is caused because of imperfections in the truck. Maybe it's a little wider at the back than at the front, so it creates a narrowing. There's a simple fix for this. Just cut yourself, measure first with your scrap wood, measure and then cut a tapered piece that's a little more narrow at the front than it is at the back. And you just push it in, and it basically creates one whole piece out of 3 separate pieces. And it's nice and stable. Except that at the end here, you can see that it wants to push down a bit if you put a lot of weight on there. Let me show you how you fix that. Just build yourself a little I-frame, measure the height between the base and the top. Make this the same height. Put a couple of your scrap pieces together. Secure it in good with screws. And then place in. So now that's in at the back, you can see it provides a lot of support just in the back piece here. And you are pretty much ready to go. And I find this is a great little feature here. Get yourself a little Tupperware that's just low enough to fit in. Put a plate washer in, drill a hole, and then you can push it all the way back. When you need it again, attach a rope, pull it right up. I'll just touch briefly on the drapes that I made. I just ran a wire. You put a small screw in the top, short enough that it doesn't penetrate the top, otherwise you're going to have leaks. I ran a wire that goes straight across with some supports, and there's 2 drapes in every corner. So I said I'd touch on the 2 open voids at the end. I actually created that so I can gain access to the compartments underneath if I'm in the truck and the doors are all closed. So in those bins, if I ever need a bottle of water or some bug spray or maybe a can of bear spray, you never know, I can easily just reach in and access that. Okay, so I've arrived to my campsite. It's actually a nice warm autumn day. It's actually quite hot with the sun being on here, so I'm actually going to set up my KingCamp truck awning, which is a great perk to have on the back of a truck if you're doing some truck camping. Let's do it. Set it up. This truck awning really is quite nice. I don't think I've set it up in over a year, and it took me maybe about 10 minutes. Some tent poles to set up. You can see on the top there's a air vent that you can get easy flow of air underneath. It's pretty sturdy. You can see that the straps just hook into your rear wheel for support and stability. And you're set up to do your cooking or have a drink. Oh, have a drink. That's a great idea. All I have is a Gatorade. I'm gonna have to fix that very soon, but I'm just gonna sit underneath this KingCamp truck awning and enjoy. All right, that's about it, everyone. This is my how I set up my camping every time I go out prospecting or just camping in general when I'm not with the wife. So yeah, it's fun, it's easy. You know, thought I'd share some information so some of you could take part and do it too. Yeah, so I'm gonna relax here. This is just a day trip for me. I just wanted to show everyone how to do the overland camper build in the back of your own truck and set up the awning. I'll put a link to the awning in the comments. You can get it on Amazon or wherever you find camping materials. There'll be some other version on it. So it's held up pretty good. If you guys have any questions, feel free to email me, goprospecting@gmail.com. Check out my website, goprospecting.ca. You know, check out YouTube. Please comment, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I really appreciate it. And yeah, we will see you out there. Thanks, everyone. See you next time. That's better.